Have you ever wondered what would happen if one day you looked around and realized there was no one left by your side? That moment when the house feels too quiet, when there's no one to call when something goes wrong, when holidays stretch out with empty chairs around the table? If you're nodding right now, I want you to know something important. You are not alone in feeling alone. That paradox is something millions of older adults face every single day. Perhaps you've already experienced this reality. Friends have passed on, a spouse is gone, children have moved to distant cities, or relationships have simply drifted apart with time. I've spent years working with seniors who face this exact situation, and what I've learned might surprise you. Being alone in your later years doesn't mean you're sentenced to a life of loneliness and isolation. In fact, this chapter can open doors to new connections, purpose, and even joy that you might never have imagined possible. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 powerful strategies that can transform solitude from a burden into an opportunity for new beginnings. By the end of our time together, you'll have practical steps you can take immediately to build new connections, find purpose, and ensure your needs are met, even when traditional support systems are no longer there. This information isn't just nice to know, it could be the difference between merely existing and truly living during these golden years. The approaches we'll discuss have helped countless seniors move from isolation to connection, from uncertainty to security, and from emptiness to purpose. If you've ever felt alone or worried about facing the future by yourself, type "I'm ready" in the comments below. Your experience matters, and sharing helps others feel less alone in their journey. Now, let's dive into the strategies that can change everything. Let me tell you about Margaret. At 78, Margaret found herself completely alone after her husband of 52 years passed away. Her 2 children had moved across the country years ago for work opportunities, and most of her friends had either relocated to be closer to their own families or had passed away. Suddenly, the 4-bedroom home she'd lived in for over 4 decades felt cavernous and empty. The silence was deafening. "I never planned for this," she told me during our first meeting. "Who does? You assume someone will always be there." Margaret's situation highlights something many of us don't realize until we're facing it. Social connections become significantly more challenging to maintain as we age, yet research shows they're actually more vital to our health than ever before. Studies from the National Institute on Aging reveal that strong social ties can reduce cognitive decline by up to 70% and dramatically lower the risk of depression that often accompanies isolation. But here's where many people get it wrong. There's a persistent myth that making new friends in your 70s or 80s is nearly impossible, or that meaningful relationships can only be formed early in life. This simply isn't true. The quality of connections matters far more than when you make them. Your capacity for forming meaningful bonds doesn't diminish with age. Sometimes it actually deepens because you know yourself better and value authentic connection more than you did in your younger years. So what practical steps can you take to build new social connections? First, look around your community. Senior centers, community centers, and faith-based organizations often offer programs specifically designed for older adults. These aren't just places to pass time, they're potential gateways to new friendships. Consider joining hobby-based clubs where you'll meet people with shared interests. Whether it's gardening, book discussions, art classes, or card games, shared activities provide natural conversation starters and reasons to gather regularly. Don't discount the value of intergenerational connections either. Programs that pair seniors with younger people for mutual learning can be incredibly rewarding. For those with mobility challenges, online communities specifically for seniors can provide connection when getting out is difficult. Platforms like Senior Planet or Silver Surfers offer forums, classes, and interest groups all accessible from home. Even something as simple as a regular video call with a friendly visitor through programs like Elder Friends can provide meaningful interaction. Remember, even one quality relationship can significantly impact your well-being. It's not about rebuilding the extensive network you may have had in your younger years, it's about finding a few connections that bring meaning and joy to your life now. While building new social connections is vital, it's equally important to maintain your physical independence to support your new social life. Let's talk about Thomas, who at 81 found himself living alone for the first time in his life. Thomas had always relied on his wife to remind him about medications and doctor's appointments. She kept track of the household maintenance, made sure bills were paid on time, and generally managed the day-to-day details that kept their lives running smoothly. After she moved into memory care due to advancing dementia, he realized he needed systems to manage his health and home independently. This highlights an important point: physical independence becomes both more challenging and more crucial when you're on your own. Without someone to notice if you've skipped meals or forgotten medication, small issues can quickly become emergencies. Without a partner to share household responsibilities, tasks can become overwhelming. Many people make the mistake of thinking that maintaining independence means doing everything yourself, exactly as you always have. In reality, independence often means setting up systems and accepting targeted assistance that allows you to live on your terms. It's about being strategic with your energy and resources. Let's talk practical solutions. Create simple routines for medication management using pill organizers or smartphone reminders. If technology isn't your strength, consider services like MediSafe that can call your landline with medication reminders. Consider technology like medical alert systems that provide peace of mind. These aren't admissions of frailty, they're intelligent precautions that protect your independence. Fall detection devices have advanced significantly in recent years, becoming more discreet and effective. Think about your daily nutrition. Meal delivery services or grocery delivery can ensure proper nutrition without constant trips to the store. Services like Meals on Wheels not only provide food but also include a friendly check-in. Or explore options like HelloFresh or Silver Cuisine that provide meal kits or prepared foods designed for seniors. Regular check-ins with telehealth providers can catch health issues early when they're easier to address. Many insurance plans now cover these services, allowing you to connect with healthcare providers from the comfort of home. Consider home modifications that will support your independence as your needs change. Simple changes like installing grab bars in bathrooms, improving lighting, or rearranging furniture to create clear pathways can significantly reduce accident risks. Physical health is just one piece of the puzzle. Equally important is making sure your financial and legal affairs are organized to support your independence. Eleanor never expected to outlive both her husband and her son. At 85, she realized no one in her life truly understood her finances or her wishes for the future. When she experienced a brief health scare that sent her to the hospital, she returned home to find bills unpaid, medications unfilled, and no clear system for managing her affairs during such emergencies. Financial insecurity is one of the biggest fears for those aging alone. Without proper planning, managing finances, healthcare decisions, and legal matters can become overwhelming, especially during health crises. This isn't just about having enough money, it's about ensuring your wishes are respected and your needs are met, even when you cannot advocate for yourself. A common mistake is assuming that financial and legal planning is only necessary for those with substantial assets or large families. In reality, those aging alone often need even more careful planning to protect their autonomy and wishes. Without clear documentation and designated helpers, the system may make decisions that don't align with your preferences. Start by working with a financial advisor who specializes in elder planning to review your financial situation. Many offer free initial consultations and can help you understand options for making your resources last while protecting your assets. Establish advanced directives, healthcare power of attorney, and financial power of attorney. Update your will and consider consulting an elder law attorney to understand options like living trusts that can streamline management of your affairs. Many communities offer free legal aid for seniors through area agencies on aging or legal clinics specifically for older adults. Consider setting up automatic bill payments and banking alerts to simplify financial management and reduce the risk of missed payments. Review insurance policies to ensure you have adequate coverage, particularly for potential long-term care needs. If you don't have close family members to serve in decision-making roles, look into professional fiduciaries or care managers who can step in when needed. These professionals provide services for a fee but can ensure your wishes are carried out according to your directions. With your physical needs and practical affairs in order, let's discuss something equally important but often overlooked: finding purpose and meaning in this new chapter of life. After retiring from 40 years of teaching high school English, James found himself alone after his divorce. His adult children lived overseas, and many of his social connections had been tied to his marriage and career. His days stretched endlessly before him with no clear purpose or direction. "I kept thinking, is this it? Is this how I spend the next 20 years?" he told me. Everything changed when he discovered a volunteer program teaching literacy at the local library. Suddenly, I had somewhere to be, people who needed my skills, and a reason to get up in the morning. Having purpose significantly impacts mental and physical health in older adults. Research from the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center shows that seniors with a strong sense of purpose have a 15% lower risk of death compared to those without clear direction, regardless of their age. Purpose gives us reason to take care of ourselves, to engage with the world, and to look forward to each day. Many believe that purpose is tied to career or family roles, and once those end, meaningful contribution is no longer possible. This perspective robs seniors of potentially their most impactful years. The truth is that purpose can take many forms, and the freedom of retirement combined with decades of life experience creates unique opportunities for meaningful engagement. Consider your lifetime of skills and how they might benefit others. What do you know that others might value? What challenges have you overcome that might help someone else? Volunteer opportunities abound for seniors, from mentoring programs to community gardens, from hospital support roles to animal shelters. Organizations like AARP's Create the Good or Volunteer Match can help you find opportunities aligned with your interests and abilities. Explore learning new skills through free senior education programs. Many colleges offer free or reduced tuition for seniors, and online platforms provide courses on virtually any topic. Learning keeps your mind sharp while potentially opening doors to new forms of contribution. Even simple acts like writing your life story, creating memory books for grandchildren, or documenting family recipes can provide meaningful purpose and legacy. These projects connect generations and preserve important cultural and family knowledge. Finding purpose often involves looking outward, but equally important is nurturing your inner emotional landscape, especially when facing solitude. Clara had always been surrounded by family and friends. As the matriarch of a large extended family, her home had been the gathering place for holidays and celebrations for decades. When she found herself alone at 82 after a series of losses and relocations, she initially fell into despair. "I didn't know who I was without everyone around me," she explained. Her journey to finding inner strength changed not just her circumstances, but her understanding of herself. Emotional resilience becomes increasingly important as we age, especially when facing solitude. The ability to adapt to life's changes, to process grief, and to find stability amid uncertainty directly impacts our quality of life. Research shows that spiritual well-being, whether through traditional religion or personal practices, is associated with better mental health outcomes and greater life satisfaction in older adults. A common misconception is that emotional strength means never feeling sad or lonely. In reality, resilience is about acknowledging difficult emotions while not being defined by them. It's about developing the capacity to experience loss and challenge without losing your sense of self or hope for the future. Consider practices like meditation, journaling, or mindfulness that foster inner peace and self-awareness. These aren't just spiritual practices, they're evidence-based approaches to managing stress and building emotional resilience. Even 5 minutes daily of quiet reflection can significantly impact your well-being. Faith communities can provide both spiritual and social support. If mobility is a challenge, many congregations offer transportation assistance or online services. Don't overlook the comfort that comes from familiar rituals and teachings that have provided meaning throughout your life. Explore virtual or in-person support groups specifically for seniors experiencing similar life transitions. Sharing your journey with others who truly understand can reduce feelings of isolation and provide practical coping strategies. Organizations like the Institute on Aging offer phone-based friendship lines specifically for older adults seeking emotional support. Don't hesitate to seek professional support through counseling services specifically trained in geriatric mental health. Medicare and many insurance plans cover mental health services, and options like telehealth make accessing care easier than ever before. Working with a professional can provide tools for managing depression, anxiety, grief, or adjustment challenges. Now that we've covered these essential strategies for thriving while aging independently, let's talk about how technology can create additional pathways for connection and support. At 79, Doris had never used a computer. After her sister moved to assisted living in another state, Doris felt the distance keenly. Their daily phone calls weren't the same as their lifetime of in-person connection. When her grandson visited from college, he set her up with a tablet and spent the weekend teaching her basic skills. 6 months later, she was video chatting with her sister 3 times a week, ordering groceries online, participating in a virtual book club, and even reconnecting with former students through social media. Technology has created unprecedented opportunities for connection and independence in late life. Digital tools can help overcome mobility limitations, geographic isolation, and provide safety nets that weren't possible even a decade ago. During the pandemic, we saw countless seniors embrace technology out of necessity, only to discover it opened doors they never knew existed. Many seniors believe they're too old to learn technology or that digital connections aren't real relationships. Research shows that digital literacy can be developed at any age, and online connections can provide meaningful social support. Studies from the Stanford Center on Longevity found that seniors who use social technology have higher levels of well-being compared to those who don't. Start with user-friendly devices designed for seniors, like simplified tablets or phones with larger text and intuitive interfaces. Look for free technology classes at libraries or senior centers. Many offer programs specifically designed for older beginners. Consider voice-activated devices like Amazon Echo or Google Home that don't require complex interfaces or typing. Social media platforms can reconnect you with old friends, former colleagues, or distant family members. They can also help you find communities based on interests, from gardening to genealogy to great-grandparenting. Video calling platforms like Zoom or FaceTime can bring faces and voices into your home when in-person visits aren't possible. Telehealth services can provide convenient healthcare access without transportation challenges. Online shopping can deliver necessities when getting out is difficult. Entertainment options like streaming services can bring music, movies, and programs into your home, reducing feelings of isolation. These digital connections can supplement the in-person strategies we've discussed, creating a robust support network even when traditional family systems aren't available. They represent just one more tool in your toolkit for crafting a connected, secure, and meaningful life. Being alone in your later years can trigger profound feelings of loss, vulnerability, and even questioning of your value and place in the world. When the people who witnessed your life journey are no longer present, it can feel as though pieces of your own identity have disappeared as well. The daily rhythms that once structured your life, preparing meals for others, coordinating schedules, sharing observations and experiences, suddenly disappear, leaving an emptiness that can be disorienting. These emotions are valid and shared by millions of others in similar circumstances. If you're feeling this way, it doesn't mean you're failing at aging, it means you're human. The strategies we've discussed aren't just practical tips, they're pathways to reclaiming your sense of security, purpose, and connection. What if this chapter of solitude isn't the sad ending many fear, but rather an opportunity for unexpected growth and discovery? Many who have navigated this journey report finding new strengths, deeper self-knowledge, and even freedoms they never experienced in earlier life stages. Without the responsibilities of caring for others or conforming to others' expectations, there can be a newfound liberty to explore interests, express authentic opinions, and make choices based solely on personal preference. The poet May Sarton, who lived alone in her later years, wrote, "Loneliness is the poverty of self, solitude is the richness of self." The absence of others doesn't have to mean the absence of meaning. In fact, this time can provide space for reflection, creativity, and personal growth that busier life stages may not have allowed. I encourage you to choose just one strategy from today's video to implement this week. Perhaps it's calling that senior center about their activities, downloading a medication reminder app, or reaching out to reconnect with an old friend. Small steps build momentum that can transform your experience of aging. Remember, being alone doesn't mean you're destined for loneliness. Throughout human history, elders have found ways to adapt, connect, and contribute, even when traditional family structures weren't available. With intentional choices and the strategies we've discussed, you can create a life of meaning, security, and even joy in this chapter. To recap, we've explored creating new social connections, maintaining physical independence, ensuring financial and legal security, finding purpose, nurturing emotional resilience, and using technology to expand your support network. Each of these areas represents a pillar of well-being that you can strengthen, regardless of who is or isn't physically present in your life. Which of these strategies resonates most with your current situation? Or perhaps you found other effective approaches to thriving while aging independently? Share your experiences in the comments. Your wisdom might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. If you found this guidance helpful, please consider subscribing to Wise Elderly Tips for more practical advice on navigating the unique challenges and opportunities of aging. Each single day, we explore topics that help you maintain independence, dignity, and joy in your golden years. Click the like button if you found value in today's discussion, and share this video with someone who might benefit from these strategies. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, this chapter of your life story is still being written, and you hold the pen. With courage, creativity, and the right resources, your later years can be filled with new connections, purpose, and unexpected joys. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You matter more than you know.